Bitcoin's price is volatile but spiking, while gold is falling amid the Russia-Ukraine conflict that Twitter is calling World War III. I'm Natalie Brunell for Bitcoin Magazine, and we're really seeing history play out before our eyes. The military operations launched by Russia in Ukraine have been horrifying to see on social media. We've seen videos posted of missiles being dropped, massive explosions, an airport under attack, and this heartbreaking video of a Ukrainian father who says goodbye to his family as they head to a safe zone while he stays behind. We've also seen runs on Ukrainian banks and ATMs running out of cash as people are trying to get their money before fleeing cities. And Putin has really placed Russia in a powerful place. I think it's encapsulated well in this tweet shared by Lisa Abramowitz of Bloomberg. Rising commodities and key fiscal reforms have allowed Russia to build a substantial FX and sovereign wealth fund war chest. International reserves currently stand above 630 billion, the highest levels ever, giving the country additional bandwidth in the face of sanctions. Now, Russia has very little debt, stockpiles of gold. Putin has shared he understands Bitcoin and the power of Bitcoin mining, and they are the third largest oil producer in the world. So fighting Russia has perhaps never been harder, especially in a world of Bitcoin. Now, some were wondering if additional sanctions from the US against Russia would include expelling the country from SWIFT, the payment system that allows transfers of money from bank to bank around the world. And it centers around the US dollar being the global reserve currency. But today we saw multiple nations in Europe, which rely heavily on Russia for energy, declare they do not want Russia to be taken off of SWIFT. And when President Biden spoke Thursday, SWIFT sanctions did not happen. Why? Well, Bitcoiners in the space would argue that it could prompt Russia to subvert the entire system through Bitcoin. A New York Times article was even written about it and how crypto can be a way to mitigate the impact of a SWIFT sanction and cushion the blunt force of what was once the West's most powerful sanctioning tool. And with commodities spiking as a result of this conflict, we have many Bitcoiners questioning if all of this will result in more money printing and quantitative easing. This was a very powerful tweet from Nick Carter today, alluding to Europe's reliance on Russia for necessity, saying, quote, "So Germany got Greta pilled and now can't enforce sanctions against Russia or defend Europe because they'd freeze and starve. Turns out energy is a matter of national security. Who knew?" And another tweet by Adam Back saying, quote, "Germany should not have turned off their nuclear power stations." Again, this goes to show just how important energy is and how Bitcoin mining will play into that competition. Now, this is game theory playing out in real time. And although none of the mainstream headlines directly mention Bitcoin or really connect the dots, Bitcoiners, especially on Twitter, are. We will continue to follow the latest developments out of Russia and Ukraine, and we are sending positive thoughts for the safety of the people in the region. Stay with Bitcoin Magazine for all the very latest.